There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. We got three massive trillion-dollar spending bills, $740 billion MIC, $900 billion COVID, $2.3 trillion for the governments. Fear, the Jan Fear, old fucking lame duck douchebag, the outgoing lame duck president, threatened a veto for the $900 billion COVID-19 bill to get us $2,000 checks instead of $600 checks. But he actually vetoed the $740 billion military-industrial complex bill. He defunded the military. He defunded the troops. And the reason why he said, the endless wars, which he always says, but he didn't get us out of a single goddamn motherfucking war. But he had 3 or 4 reasons, and one of the main reasons that Donald Trump is defunding the military is for Confederate ideal, to keep the Confederate names on the military bases. He did something Jefferson Davis and Robert E. Lee could only dream of. Defunding the U.S. military, defunding the U.S. troops. They couldn't have done that. So AOC had put out a bunch of tweets explaining what's going on. So he went ahead and did this threat, right? The COVID-19 bill, that big boondoggle spruce goose with all that pork barrel spending, all that money going everywhere else but to the American people. So AOC, she had tweeted that her and Rashida Tlaib had already wrote a $2,000 check amendment to the $900 billion COVID-19 bill. And then Chuck Schumer was on board, then Pelosi was on board. They asked for a unanimous consent vote, and Kevin McCarthy said no. And then the Republicans did ask a Democrat to do a unanimous consent vote on cutting the pork barrel spending out. So it seems like the Democrats want to keep the foreign aid, the Burma, and counting the amberjack fish and all that, the pork. The Democrats want to keep the pork, and the Republicans don't want to pay us $2,000. So Pelosi's on board. They asked for unanimous consent. They didn't get it, so now Pelosi is sitting there saying 3 p.m. on Monday. There's going to be a showdown in Congress. Monday, 3 p.m., they're going to have an up or down vote on the COVID-19 bill, up or down vote on the $2,000 checks, and just get everybody on the record. So if Pelosi and AOC put up their bill, they're going to raise our checks from, $600 to $2,000, but they're still fucking us over. They're still sending billions and billions of dollars all over the goddamn world. All over the goddamn world. What we need is a nice, clean bill. Every American gets $2,000. Period. You don't need to keep writing 5,500 more pages after that. Just one page. A nice, clean bill that only pays the American people, not the 15 trillion strings attached, no strings attached, just the $2,000 checks. Just get the Treasury to print up all that free money for us. We don't need to send Greenland $150 billion. We don't need $1.5 million to count the rabbit and sagebrush in the San Luis Valley Prairie. We don't need all that pork. Cut out the fucking pork. Raise the checks from $600 to $2,000. That's way better. That is way better. I'm so sick and tired of these motherfuckers slipping all these laws into these massive bills. 5,500 pages and all those laws. They could have ripped out the Bill of Rights. Nobody explains anything to us. 5,500. Who the fuck wrote the damn thing? How come they're not explaining to us what the fuck is in it? And yet, Jimmy Dore funk a fault, and it's nonstop vitriol for Jimmy Dore. U.S. Congress fucks us and mum's the word. So AOC, it looks like a little bit of gaslighting here, but maybe this is just the first thing, but they're trying to keep the $900 billion COVID-19 bill. So AOC won the support of top Democrat Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who said that they would quickly introduce an amendment to increase the stimulus payments from $600 to $2,000. AOC had tweeted, December 23rd, it looks like the House GOP are going to try to block Trump's request for $2,000 tomorrow. Some other items they blocked: retroactive unemployment, survival checks for people with disabilities, college students, adult dependents, larger rent and mortgage assistance. And the list goes on. Don't lose out hope, though. Republicans are trying to block $2,000 checks tomorrow because we're expediting, but because Trump also vetoed the defense bill, Congress will likely reconvene in the next few days. Democrats will then be able to override the GOP block, pass the $2,000 checks to the Senate. I mean, what do you say, Mitch? Let's not get bogged down with ideological offsets and unrelated items. Let's just do this. The American people deserve it. So, fantastic, right? AOC is sitting there, looking like she's confronting Mitch. Looks like she's going to fight for our $2,000, but she has all, billions and billions of dollars worth of pork. Another good reason why we should have $2,000 checks instead of $600 checks. $2,000 checks cost less than $900 billion. They're going to pass $900 billion. Most of the money doesn't even go to us. $170 billion goes to us. $170 billion of the $900 billion goes to us. And then like $300 billion goes to the corporations, and then, billions go to Israel and Egypt so they can keep on killing Palestinians and Egyptian peasants. So AOC is introducing an amendment. AOC is introducing an amendment to the COVID-19 bill. She's not doing a standalone bill. And it's cheaper. It costs $567 billion to get us $2,000 checks, which is a savings of $333 billion. So they could cut out the pork, and they could finance the $2,000 checks, and they would still save us some money. They would still save us some money. But AOC, Nancy Pelosi, wants to hold on to that pork, the foreign aid. All them stupid laws. I'm tired of all this shit. They fucking always slip a law, slip this, slip that in some other fucking massive bills. 5,500. We need to stop with the 5,500 page laws. We need to make it 1, 2, 3 tops. 3 pages tops. So the legislation, the $2,000 checks, was spearheaded by Ayanna Pressley, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, and Ilhan Omar, and Pramila Jayapal, 5 of the 17 progressives. They went ahead and said, let's get this amendment, raise $600 up to $2,000, and let's pass this bill and get the money out to the American people. Right? Rush, rush, rush. Hurry, hurry, hurry. No. I don't want dog shit. I don't want dog shit. You get us $2,000 checks, and then you make that reoccurring. Tim Ryan and Rokana had a bill back in spring 2020 with the first stimulus discussion. And they said $2,000 to every American, and that's it. And they had it for 6 months. So $2,000 for every American for the next 6 months. And then after 6 months, they would re-up on it and say, do we want to do this again? And have, so it was just for a 6-month period. Also, the $2,000 wouldn't count as income, so, your benefits from the state and the feds and local, it wouldn't change your income, so it wouldn't be counted as income. So it wouldn't mess up, your welfare. But that's what we should have done. That would have saved the damn economy. We're in a Great Depression right now. We're on the verge of a civil war. And we don't have health care. We don't have universal health care. How many poor people, how many homeless people, how many people in prison, how many people in America have COVID-19 or something worse, and they don't go to the hospital because they can't afford the damn thing? So Nancy Pelosi wrote up a statement explaining, precisely what happened. And this is how I know that it's an amendment, not a standalone. She said, I'm going to bring the House back to session where we will hold a recorded vote on our standalone bill to increase economic income impact statements to $2,000. To vote against this bill to deny the financial hardship. Hopefully by then, the president will have already signed the bipartisan and bicameral legislation to keep government open and to deliver coronavirus relief. So is this all show, Nancy Pelosi? Is this all bullshit? Donald says, here's $2,000, and she says, all right, fine, here, just raise it $2,000. So you're going to inflate $900 billion up to what? 1.5 trillion. So it's going to be $1.5 trillion now to get the 2,000 because they want to keep the pork. They want to keep the pork, and because they want to keep the pork, they're kind of using us as leverage. They're sitting there saying that if Donald doesn't do this, or the Republicans doesn't do this, they don't really care about us because they didn't raise the checks up to the amount that Donald had said. But it's the Democrats who's keeping the lion's share of the foreign aid of the $900 billion to give it out to their friends. Me and you and the American people, we're not getting any of this shit. The American people ain't getting shit. They get $600, right? Maybe $2,000. But you heard what she said at the very end. Hopefully by then the president will have already signed the bipartisan and bicameral legislation to keep government open and to deliver coronavirus relief. So for Nancy Pelosi, this is a game. This is a threat. She's bumping up against the system. She's asking for what she wants. These are all the things that the haters are telling AOC and Jimmy Dore not to do. She's rattling people's cages. Okay, Donald, you want $2,000? Here's $2,000. Just do a standalone bill. That's all I want. Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be a vote. They're going to try to override that veto. Fuck that military spending bill. Fuck all that bullshit. Cut all this shit. $4 trillion is going to be spent, and none of it's going to go to you and me, America. So, is Nancy Pelosi even being sincere? I don't think so. It's a fucking amendment. It's guaranteed to fail. So it's a suicide mission. She's going to lose all of her power, all of her collateral. This is the same shit people are saying to Jimmy Dore and AOC. This is all the same shit. Now's not the time. Be patient. Wait. $2,000. We've never done that before in America. Why do you think we can get $2,000 checks? I like that they're pushing for it. They're not pushing for it hard enough, and they're not doing it correct. But the $2,000... raising the checks to $2,000, that was blocked by the Republicans. Kevin McCarthy blocked the majority leader Steny Hoyer's attempt to get that unanimous consent agreement going. Now, there was Representative Rob Whitman, a Republican out of Virginia. He tried to get the lawmakers to cut out the foreign aid. He wanted the foreign aid to get cut out, and then that move was blocked by Democrat Debbie Dingell. Anyways. So yeah, we should cut out the money for Israel and Egypt and all the military dictatorships or the terrible slave apartheid nations of the world. Cut out the money for overthrowing Venezuela. Cut out the tax cut for the 3 martini lunch. You have 3 martini lunch, you get a tax break, but what if you have, just a salad with water? No tax. So Senator Roy Blunt, Republican of Missouri, says, I would be surprised if we dealt with a Democrat push for $2,000. You got a Democrat push, but he said he would be surprised about it. So is Pelosi being serious? Is this a symbolic? Is this just performative art? My God, this is just performative art, right? And then she's also probably a racist, sexist, alcoholic. This is all the same shit people are saying to Jimmy Dore about his forced to vote idea. And then how are we going to pay for this? That seems to be, we didn't even ask that question. Wait, you're going to give us Medicare for all? Well, how are you going to pay for it? Just take the $900 billion COVID bill and then just use that. There, now you got $900 billion for Medicare for all program. Oh, and then take the $740 billion military, and then take the $2.2 trillion for the government. Well, shit, that's $4 trillion to get us something, right? If we don't get Medicare for all, then we're guaranteed to get a public option. So there was somebody that was saying that the Democrats actually blocked this. The Democrats had blocked the pork barrel spending, so that's kind of right. But they're talking about the $2,000 checks, which is an amendment on top of the $900 billion. So that's going to expand it, make it explode to $1.5 trillion. So on Monday, watch for that. Monday, 3 p.m., bigger stimulus checks. They're going to vote on it. They're also going to try to override Trump's veto of the NDAA. And let's stop listening to Mitch McConnell. It doesn't matter if it's a $2,000 UBI check or if it's Medicare for all. Mitch will snigger at anything that the Democrat progressives ever do. That's what Mitch does. He's a hater. He's a sniggerer. Yeah, go ahead and vote for it. Snigger all you want. Maybe Mitch is giving us good sound advice on how to do strategy, tactics. Or maybe he just sniggers at all the ideas by Democrats in hopes that nobody ever takes them serious. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, Mitch said it was a good idea. Yeah, what, they fucking killed the Green New Deal? Shut the fuck up. I don't even want to hear that shit. If Mitch is sniggering, then it's on his radar, and he's scared.